Hi there, I just want to take a few minutes out to show you how to possibly put a fake reflection in goggles or maybe sunglasses. I had a student request this and I just want to go into a little more detail on this as I go through this. First thing we're going to do is I've opened up a picture. I found a picture on the web of this lady with these glasses. It could be goggles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a fake reflection in this, or at least try to. I've made a selection of the lenses using the quick selection tool. I would use officially the pen tool if I knew how to use it. I'd have you use the pen tool so you can make a smoother vector path and then turn it into a selection. Once you make that selection, I want you to go into the select menu and I want you to save this selection. And I'm just going to give it the name of glasses. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to open up a picture I found on the web of an operating room. This is what we'd like to reflect in the glasses. I'm going to take the move tool. I'm going to press and drag it up on the tab for my lady picture here, and I'm going to let up. And I'm going to make sure my picture is big enough mainly to cover the glasses. You'll have to take some liberties in this, and I'm going to transform it. Take liberties in making it bigger or smaller depending on how big you want the reflection in the glasses. That's something that's going to have to be determined by you. So I've just enlarged it with a transform command. I'm just going to hit enter. With this layer picked, I'm going to go under the select menu and I'm going to load that selection we made before. And I'm going to use that as a selection to make a layer mask. I'm going to come over to the layers panel. I'm going to come down to the layers panel and there's a little icon down here. It looks like a rectangle with a hole in it. That's the add a layer mask icon. And now I've got that masked into that shape. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the layers panel and there's a chain link that indicates that the layer mask is linked to this layer. I'm going to have you click on that link and that's going to make it so I can move the image of the reflection around independently from the mask. So what I mean by that is I broke that link and I'm on the move tool. Now I can move this around within the glasses area. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the blend mode. It's on normal right now, so the pixels of the reflection are not interacting with the pixels of the lady and the glasses. I want it to blend differently. So from some research and trying some experience, I want to come down here and try what's called hard light. And there's some other variations, like you can do soft light. That in this case may be the best thing to do. You're going to have to experiment with some of these blend modes on how you can get in here and make this as realistic as you want it to be. Let's say hard light for a second. Now the next thing is to come over on the right here and bring down the opacity of that layer. So I'll bring it down, let's say there's 60, and I'm down to about 17-20% on my layer mask and moving it up just a little bit. So here's something you're going to have to experiment with on your own also, for depending on what your reflection is, what the picture is, and so on and so forth. So know that you can bring down the opacity of that. Then you may even go up and change it to one of the other blend modes, like here's soft light. Let me bring the opacity back up on that. Not too bad at all. So just know that you're going to be able to make that selection of the glasses, save that selection, use that selection as a mask, put it on your reflection, break the link between the reflection and the mask so you can move it around a little bit. So again, I can move this around here. In fact, the image is still there. If I go into the edit menu and pick transform, I can still come up here and pick free transform and I can rotate this on a certain angle. I can still make this bigger or smaller, move it around. And now again, as you do this, you may have to go back up and change the blending mode. You may have to change the opacity because you're putting a different set of pixels in there to blend. So it's going to be a little bit of work here to kind of figure out what's working best for you. Also, for fun, if you wanted to, you could flip that image. You can go under Edit, you can pick Transform, and you can say Flip Horizontal. And then that's going to be the opposite. In case there's any words in there or anything like that that people could tell it's not a real reflection because it's reading right or correctly, you can flip that around. So again, I'm going to change my blend mode. Let's say overlay. I don't particularly like that. Here's hard light on here. Bring the opacity down. Just trying to get a faint reflection in there. Okay. The last thing, if you wanted to, there's a curvature of those glasses depending on either the angle of the person's face or the actual lenses in the glasses or the goggles. You can go to the extent of going up under Filter and coming down to Distort to Pinch, and you can come in here and kind of take a look. You'll probably move it to the left to kind of pinch it out or bulge it out a little more like this, and then click OK. And that'll give you a little more realistic curve possibly. So the bottom line is, make your selection, save the selection, use that selection as a mask on the image you want to reflect, and try some blending modes and some opacity changes, and get it the way you want. Okay, thank you.